What's up, everybody? Brant Phillips here on Real Estate Fundamentals, and today we're going to talk about the private lending cycle. So this is a great video, great overview, whether you're a borrower or a lender. I'm going to go through these steps in detail, outlining what is the private lending cycle like. How does a private money deal, a private lender deal actually get done? And this is very, very critical information. If you're a lender, it's very important that you understand the steps that need to transpire and need to take place in order to secure your investment and do it the right way. Because unfortunately, a lot of borrowers out there, a lot of real estate investors, they really don't know all the steps. They may be newbies. You don't want them learning on your dime, so to speak. And if you're a borrower watching this video, the same thing. Like, you need to hold a private lender's capital with the utmost care, caution, and protection in every single aspect, always looking out for on their behalf, right? And so, I not to brag or boast to impress anybody, but I do like to share that I've done this hundreds and hundreds of times, meaning we've done real estate deals with private lender capital, and knock on wood, we have 100% track record of always performing on our deals with our lenders. It's not because we're great, and it's not because we're perfect, because we've lost money on deals, but we practice and utilize fundamentals, right? We check all the boxes. We go through some of the things I'm going to show you very quickly here, and we have a sustainable business model, and we've just learned over time, right, how to do things the right way. And in case you weren't aware, I wrote a book all about this. It's called Private Lender Playbook, and this is not a plug for my book. If you private message me, I'll send you a free ebook, a free copy. If you want to buy a physical copy, you got to go on Amazon or go to privatelenderplaybook.com or even Audible. But it's really, really important, because private lending, when done the right way, is like the ultimate win-win for the borrower and the lender. That's why I have lenders who've been working with me some for 5 or 10 years, and they never leave, right? Because it's really a very synergistic relationship. They're incredibly happy. I'm incredibly happy. The residents that are buying and leasing our properties are happy. So it's a really great thing if you do it the right way. It's horrible if you do it the wrong way. So let's go into these steps. Like I said, I'm going to go through this very, very quickly. So make sure that you do your own due diligence, your own research, and really get educated about this. And also want to add that I'm not an attorney, I'm not an accountant, I'm not a financial advisor, I'm not offering anybody any opportunity to invest with me. I'm not trying to raise money. I'm simply offering some information that's based on my experience in 13 plus years and doing hundreds of deals, and what I've found that works for us and what we do and what my understanding of this process is, right? So it all starts by finding a deal. A real estate investor does their marketing, whatever they do to get a deal, but they've identified an investment property that they've qualified as a quote unquote deal, and everybody's definition of a deal is different, but hopefully this is a property that it's an undervalued property, so it's going to have some equity in it. It's likely going to be an ugly house and need repairs and things like that to bring it up to receive full market value, or get that property rented as a cash flowing, cash positive, cash producing income property. So after that, basically it starts here. Borrower and lender are going to discuss the deal, rates, and terms. Okay, this is what I like to call a handshake agreement, right? You're going to have a conversation, and the borrower kind of knows what they need to make the deal work. The private lender needs to, is going to know kind of what they're looking for. And really, it ultimately, my philosophy is win-win or no deal, right? And I kind of borrowed that from Stephen Covey, is we want both sides to feel like they're winning and they're happy. And if not, then that's okay. Like, you can go separate ways. You don't have to do a deal. So this is something where you come in agreement and say, yeah, I'm happy with this. I'm happy with this. Let's move forward. So I like to say this is a handshake agreement that's going to be backed up by the proper paperwork. So there's that handshake happening right there. The borrower lender simply agree on the terms, what they've agreed to, and then that information is sent off to the attorney for doc preparation, right? So in our office, what we've created a loan doc prep sheet. It outlines all the details of the transaction, all the information of the borrower, which is typically one of my entities, all the information of the lender, which may be their personal information, it may be a self-directed IRA, whatever that information is. We put all that together along with all the information about the property, the interest rate, the rates, the terms, the title company, of course the attorney information and particulars about who's drafting the deed, the insurance, and all types of things. We cover it all in there, so it's very boilerplate. Our attorney knows exactly what to prepare, including items like the personal guarantee, for example. What we're providing, like a survey, for example. All the things are laid out in this sheet. It's very clear, so that the lender knows exactly what they're getting in the deal, like what we're promising to provide to them at closing. And just to note, no money has exchanged hands here on either side, right? So we're going through the process. It's important to note. So we'll get that information to our attorney, and we do that through kind of a templated form and email that's sent to our attorney, our title company, our agent and transaction coordinator here in the office, as well as the lender, so everybody's on the same page. So that's sent to the attorney. So the attorney's preparing the loan documents, the mortgage, note, deed of trust, depending on what your state in, what state that you're in. Some states use a mortgage, some use a deed, et cetera, and then also creating the note, personal guarantee. All those required items are in process with our attorney, and the attorney can usually get back within a day or two, depending on the deal and his personal schedule. At the same time, the title company is working on getting title, making sure the title's clear, getting the survey ordered, and making sure that they can insure the policy and everything is good to go. So as soon as we get that green light, and sometimes this is as short as 4 or 5 days. Typically, it's about a 2-week process on average, 10 business days or so. But once we get the green lights, all those check boxes are marked off, then we head to closing. And so when we go to closing, this is where everything's signed, sealed, delivered. Then the wire transaction takes place. This is very, very, very important. I like to say that we don't take money directly from lenders. Everything's done at a title company. There's a couple of exceptions to that. Occasionally, our attorney will modify a loan or will increase a loan, and he's responsible for filing that deed. So occasionally it goes through our attorney's office, but 99.9% of the time, we run everything through the title company, and you should really require that yourself as well as a private lender, and you as a borrower should be providing that to your attorney. We want to make sure that everything's above board, that the title commitment's in place, that our insurance is in place, that they have a survey, that everything has been filed and recorded properly. You have to understand, if you're a private lender, if this isn't done properly, then you may not have the security that you think you have. And that's one of the great things about private lending. As a private lender, right, is there's great return, and then it's secured by an asset. Well, if you butcher the paperwork, you don't know what to check for or ask for. If it's done incorrectly, then you've just basically voided out one of the most compelling things that attract people to being a private lender. So make sure this is done the right way. So after closing, that's when the wire is sent. Now, this is where, let's say, for example, it was a $150,000 loan. It was $100,000 in to purchase the property and $50,000 in repairs. Well, depending on your draw schedule, if you've agreed to release all that money to the borrower up front, or it's going to be set in draw inspections, which should have been agreed to here when you agree on terms, those draws will be released according to that agreement here. And now this is where the rehab, the renovations, and all that kind of stuff are going on. The real estate investors likely managing the rehab, and managing with contractors and getting those repairs done so they can go to market. At that point in time, if you have monthly payments that are due, you should be receiving those, and this is where it becomes finally mailbox money. And the reason I say if they're due, because some of our lenders provide allow us to have an accrued interest agreement where we may not make any payments for 3 to 6, 9, even 12 months on occasion. And so you just have to figure out, if do you have accrued interest, then you may not be making any payments for a while. If you're a borrower, if you are a lender, the same thing. What is the payment schedule? Encourage everyone, set those onto, if you're a lender, make sure you have some type of tracking system. Put on your calendar, recurring calendar, make sure that you've received those payments. You may even just create a simple invoice. Those are really easy to do online now. And if it's your IRA account, make sure you're logging in, making sure they've received those payments. If you're a borrower watching this, I highly recommend something I began doing years ago. Is you obviously need to set everything up in like an auto bill pay system. In my opinion, that's what we do. But more importantly, we set it up so that our private lenders receive their payments early. Yeah, there's been a couple of snafus with like mail issues and things like that, but I like to pay my lenders early just to give them that peace of mind. I don't want them worrying if the payments come and due the day of the payment, right? We like to get them that to them a few days early. So this is where the monthly payments and servicing's going out. And at some point in time, hopefully sooner rather than later, the borrower is going to either sell that property, which you should be notified, most likely by the title company, perhaps them or both, about the details about that. They're going to ask you for a loan payoff, et cetera, et cetera. Or the borrower is going to possibly they're going to rent the property and refinance the property. So same thing, where a bank will be handling the refinance, and so you'll be getting a request for your payoff information, which is not going to include interest you've received. It's just the outstanding principal and possibly some outstanding interest as well. And so what I found, if the borrower and the lender, right, truly created a win-win scenario here. They worked out all the terms and were in agreement on everything. We're happy with that. And if the borrower did their part, right, through just clearly communicating the process, the closing process, and how they handled the renovations and the draw inspections and made monthly on-time payments. Here's what I found almost always happens next is they do it over and over again. I like to say 99.9% of all of our lenders have invested with us again. I have 2 lenders that have not invested with us again, and one of them wanted to, but we just simply made a business decision not to work with him again. He wasn't the nicest guy in the world, although he wanted to come back to us. And another one hasn't, but he said he's going to very soon. So other than that, all of our lenders like coming back and reinvesting with us, and that's nothing about us, maybe a little bit, but it's really about the opportunity. Private lending is, in my opinion, my experience has been, it's just a great opportunity to invest. I'm a private lender now. I've obviously told a lot of friends and family members, to where my parents, my in-laws, and other friends and family members that I know very, very well have also began private lending once they learn more about it. So I encourage you, check out my book, or just begin reading, watching other videos, and get informed about this if you're really going to go down this path. It is very, very important that you do it the right way as opposed to the wrong way. So, hey, once again, my name is Brant Phillips. I really appreciate you watching this video. If you're interested in learning more about real estate fundamentals, building a business, real estate investing business built on solid fundamentals, I appreciate you hitting that like button, hitting that subscribe button. I do my best to share a lot of inner workings of a real estate investment company and kind of what we've built here with my company at Invest Home Pro. Y'all take care.